Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our lead story of the day is regarding Joe Biden's Department of Justice refusing to cooperate with Congress regarding the classified documents. As always, support the show by hitting that like and subscribe button, leaving us a short, sweet comment down below. If you don't know what to write something as simple as good morning or good afternoon. We got an awesome community here on the Bald Brad channel that would love to engage and interact with you, not only in the live chat, but again in the comment section below. Your help and support would be greatly appreciated. Well, folks, the Justice Department is refusing to cooperate with a congressional oversight investigation into Joe Biden's classified documents scandal, which is just lovely, right? Because you have these reporters showing up for the last month now, questioning the White House, meaning Karine Jean-Pierre and Joe Biden on these classified documents. And who are they all being told to talk to? Oh, the White House counsel or the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice is not giving anybody answers, not even the Oversight Committee from the House of Representatives. It's truly mind-blowing. But what's the background? What's going on with all this? Well, you got the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan, who's one of the last few good guys, sent the Justice Department a letter on January 13th requesting documents related to the scandal. Jordan announced his probe on January 13th, one day after Attorney General Merrick Garland, who needs to be ousted, the guy's terrible at his job, appointed former U.S. Attorney Robert Hur as special counsel to investigate Biden. Specifically, Jordan wants all documents and communications related to the investigation. He wants to know it all. He's doing a deep dive here for the American people. Well, it's unclear when the department first came to learn about the existence of these documents and whether it actively concealed this information from the public on the eve of the 2022 elections. I would like to point out this is the same question that was proposed by many reporters to Karine Jean-Pierre, and who did she refer them to? The White House counsel, Department of Justice, Jim Jordan, who has way more access to this stuff than any reporter ever would or could, doesn't even know what's going on with the same questions that were being asked, and now he's asking the DOJ, and they aren't giving him nothing. Well, it is also unclear what interactions, if any, the department had with the Biden administration or President Biden himself or his representatives about his mishandling of classified material. The department's actions here appear to depart from how it acted in similar circumstances, which just again shows, I know I'm repeating myself in some way, shape, or form, but it just shows the blackout that's going on with not just the Department of Justice, the White House counsel, but also the White House itself in terms of being sealed tight on what the heck is going on here. And you might be asking yourself, well, Jim Jordan said all this stuff to the Department of Justice. How did they respond? Well, in a letter on Monday, Attorney General Carlos Felipe Duarte told Jordan the DOJ will not hand over any of the requested materials for congressional oversight. Let that sink in. He's just plain out saying, nope, not going to do it. Oh, you have a right to this material? No, nope, not by us, you don't. Quote, disclosures to Congress about active investigations risk jeopardizing those investigations and creating the appearance that Congress may be exerting improper political pressure or attempted to influence department decisions in certain cases. What the hell? What? He's allowed to look into this stuff. That is literally his clearance. And they're going, well, you might exert improper political pressure on us, right? You might bring the full weight of the government down on us. What? I mean, you guys, this is pretty astonishing. I'm not saying it hasn't happened before. Actually, it's happened many of times, but it's just ridiculous. And you see the political kind of components of the branches of governments fighting with one another when, again, one branch has oversight over another to look into this type of stuff, and the other branch is saying basically no. Quote, judgments about whether and how to pursue a matter are and must remain the exclusive responsibility of the department, he asserted. To divulge information related to the DOJ's ongoing special counsel investigation would, according to Duarte, violate long-standing policy. Disclosing non-public information about ongoing investigations could violate statutory requirements or court orders, reveal roadmaps and our investigations, and interfere with the department's ability to gather facts, interview witnesses, and bring criminal prosecutions where warranted. Again, this isn't talking about sending information to the public. This is talking about a oversight committee from the House of Representatives that's job is to do investigations and kind of look under the hood on things. And they're just basically, again, saying no. It's happened before. It happened when Trey Gowdy, I believe, was the chairman of the Oversight Committee. It's happened when Jason Chaffetz of Utah was the chairman of the Oversight Committee. I mean, it's happened to many people. It's just frustrating that we're trying to get answers on this whole thing that's been going on for months, that was kept under the radar of literally everybody until it broke out. We still aren't getting answers here. You can't get answers from the White House. The White House is telling people to go to the White House counsel. The White House counsel's not giving the answer, so they're telling them from the White House counsel to go to the DOJ. Then they go to the DOJ and they're not getting the answers. The DOJ says you need to go to the White House counsel. The White House counsel says you need to go back to the DOJ. The DOJ says you need to go to the White House. The White House, you see what's going on here with this craziness? And that's just for reporters. And the same thing here is happening to Jim Jordan. Well, Jim Jordan stepped in after that response from the Justice Department. He says, Russell Dye, a spokesman for Jordan, said the decision indicates the DOJ is playing politics, which is iterating basically what I just said between the branches. It's concerning, to say the least, that the department is more interested in playing politics than cooperating. Not wrong. Meanwhile, Jordan disclosed last week that he was definitely looking at asking for documents via subpoena, but said at the time he was only considering it. Perhaps the DOJ's refusal here to cooperate with his investigation has made that decision a lot more clear. We'll have to see what goes on with it. But look, I wanted to give you more information. I said I'd keep you updated in terms of what's going on with this whole debacle. And basically, it makes you wonder if the DOJ is sitting there kind of covering for Joe Biden in some way, shape, or form, or it's not a nothing burger and there's something really big brewing here that's about to come out. And I'm kind of leaning more towards that latter direction of there's really something going on here, because Karine Jean-Pierre is really distancing herself from this whole thing. She's even been asked by reporters, and we didn't necessarily cover it here on the Bald Brad show. I'm not going to show you every single clip from the briefing. I don't want to waste your time with it. But there were and have been reporters that have asked her questions about her asking the president regarding classified documents multiple times, actually, and she has not even talked to the guy about this stuff. So why would you not do that when you're the mouthpiece of the leader of the free world to elaborate on what his thoughts are or what's going on or what he might be thinking? And she's not even talking to him about it because I feel like she knows what's going on in terms of how dirty this guy is and his family and what might come out of it. And she doesn't want to be connected to it because she don't want to go to jail either. Let me know what you think about that theory, folks. I think it's concrete in some way, shape, or form. We're watching a lot of Dan Bongino as well. Him kind of connecting the pieces to all this. There could be something big there, folks. But like I said, leave us a comment below. Let me know what you think about that one. Well, moving into our second story of the day, speaking of Congress, this kind of relates to it. Our nation's fiscal policy is a disaster and has been a disaster for literally decades. Well, you got 24 senators signing a letter opposing the debt ceiling increase absent spending reform. 24 Republican senators have signed a letter to President Joe Biden noting that they do not plan to vote to raise the debt ceiling unless action is taken to address the nation's spending problem. I freaking love this. Thank you, God. Finally, somebody's rising up here that was elected by the people, for the people, to speak on behalf of the people, going, this is irresponsible. We can't keep raising the debt ceiling. If you're curious, you guys, on how much we owe, I just actually looked it up today. At this moment in time, it's about $31.5 trillion we owe, and that's only increasing. So they want to raise it even more. You guys, $31.5 trillion. That's $95,000 per citizen. Not taxpayer, per citizen. That's about $200 something thousand. Let's say $200,000 to $250,000 per taxpayer. You and your wife would owe, or spouse would owe, $500,000 to the government. That doesn't include state. That's just federal, by the way. If we were called on it tomorrow, pay off this debt. It's irresponsible, you guys. The vast majority of Americans don't have anything anywhere near $250,000. I mean, 8 of every 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I mean, I think it's somewhere in the realm of a certain percentage of baby boomers don't even have $1,000 saved for retirement. And they're retiring right now. So let's just be complete idiots with all this stuff consistently and keep raising the debt ceiling so somebody else has to pay for it. It's irresponsible. So I love that you got these 24 GOP that are finally saying enough is enough. The lawmakers conveyed their, quote, outright opposition to a debt ceiling hike without real structural spending reform that reduces deficit spending and brings fiscal sanity back to Washington. I mean, the question here is, does Washington really have ever sanity in terms of any sort of policies, other than policies removing our rights or wanting to chisel away at them or put some sort of burden upon the American people? I mean, Congress just sucks at their job. Government sucks at their job. I mean, anybody disagree in the comment section? They suck at their job. Hopefully they fix this and maybe don't suck as much. It is the policy of the Senate Republican Conference that any increase in the debt ceiling must be accompanied by cuts in federal spending of an equal or greater amount as the debt ceiling increase, or meaningful structural reform in spending such as Prevent Government Shutdown Act or the Full Faith and Credit Act. We intend to stand by that policy. Now, there is a myth out there that majority of our $31 trillion is just going to be erased in some way, shape, or form. There's also another myth out there that the majority of our budget goes towards military. The vast majority, I think upwards of like 70 or 80% of our budget is social programs like Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, stuff like that. So it's a huge, I think our military budget's like 20%. Somebody write it in the comments below. I'm pulling this off the top of my head. But I think when you throw in education, health, and military as well as defense spending, I think that's like about 25% of our budget. So again, it's just a myth. We need to chisel away at the social programs, of which Karine Jean-Pierre did say on the podium during White House press briefings that Republicans want to chisel away or reform some sort of this social spending that we're utilizing. And I think that's a good call. We have to, you guys. And I came up with the idea of like, well, why don't we grandfather everybody in starting today that's already paid into Social Security, and then anybody that hasn't paid into Social Security yet, you're not grandfathered in. You don't get your Social Security. You can utilize the money that you take on your take-home pay to invest that yourself into 401k, 403b, tangible, intangible assets, whatever you want to do with it. You can invest that any way, shape, or form you feel like. But I think that since you've already paid in the system, you should be able to pay it paid out. Somebody also did write in the comments of they would more than happy take their refund of what they paid into the system and invest that into a 401k or some sort of investment vehicle. And you'd probably get a better rate of return than you would in your Social Security. I think there's definitely a lot of truth to that. I would love to take my Social Security, that it's every paycheck, and invest it rather than give it to the government, knowing full well that I probably won't see majority of that money later on in life if I'm only getting 70%, 60% of that cut because it's going to go insolvent at some point. Well, again, America's massive and ever-increasing national debt is currently more than $31 trillion. Our nation's fiscal policy is a disaster. Our country owes $31 trillion. You guys try to just in your mind fathom $31 trillion. I can't do it. A level of debt that now well exceeds the size of our economy. This is the letter that's being proposed to Joe Biden, by the way. We do not intend to vote for a debt ceiling increase without structural reforms to address current and future fiscal realities, actually enforce the budget and spending rules on the books, and manage out-of-control government policies. Now, I could be wrong here, and maybe I should have looked it up before I started recording, but maybe somebody might know off the top of their head or just leave it in the comments or the live chat. I don't think Congress has anything in place that allows them to create a budget that's fiscally responsible, meaning that they are not allowed to spend, they're not allowed to spend what they don't have. Meaning if you can't just put something on credit. If you don't have the money, then you can't spend it. They need something like that bill to be written. I mean, hell, you could put it in one sentence. Cannot spend more than we have. Like, create a budget that way. What's amazing to me is these people are elected, as I said, for the people, by the people, to speak on behalf and do things for the people. And they're managing things, I mean, to put it in a very PG way, because it's YouTube, irresponsibly. They're being knuckleheads with all this stuff. And we're the ones that are going to have to pay for it at the end. Like, we're the ones shooting ourselves in the foot by electing these people over and over again. And I get that there's empathy that we need because some of these social programs really do help people. I'm not saying get rid of the social programs, but I'm saying definitely chisel away at them. This is ridiculous. I think of our total budget that we spend, it's like 4.6 trillion. I think of the 6.6, I think like 4.6 trillion is social programs or something. Like I said, it's 70 or 80% of our budget or something like that. You guys, you can't have empathy in politics because empathy in politics is harmful. Yes, we all want to do good to others. We all want others to be okay. We want to help them. We want that safety net, and that safety net should be there. But this is getting ridiculous. This is getting, I mean, the aspect of the locality of you helping your neighbor, you utilizing the mechanics of your church to give back to charity and work through that to uplift your locality, your neighborhood, your fellow countrymen. Like, we need to come back to that as a country. And as far as I'm aware, I think this can be a little bit tough to get there because we are removing, or have removed for quite some time, religious aspects from the school system and just from the family structure as a whole. I mean, faith in God, faith in Christianity, Judeo-Christian values have really decreased in this country. And you've really seen a negative effect of those Judeo-Christian values plummeting in terms of people retaining those traditions in their life or their family. And here you have the government acting like knuckleheads, not upholding the certain traditions that we should have a country, not acting responsible. And it's really going to plummet, you guys. It's going to be a dark day when we have to pay this back. There's only a couple ways of doing it. Print more money, which is going to increase inflation, as well as increasing taxes. You know, I don't know what more to say about this, but what's going to wake people up? And I think the only thing that's going to wake people up is they're going to feel the effects of this. and they're not going to be able to pay their bills. They're going to struggle buying food at the grocery store because their taxes are so high. That's just going to paying off our debt. It's not going to building new roads. No. It's not going to build new infrastructure, things that we actually need to use our money on. It's not going to go to the education system. It's not going to go to the military. It's just to pay off the interest of the debt. And then we got to worry about the principal. So this is a big deal. Like I said, this and illegal immigration are my number one and number two issue. And because I see a dark future with both happening, because they both hurt this country. I'm not saying legal immigration hurts this country. I am for legal immigration. I have friends that are legal immigrants. My father was a legal immigrant. So you do the paperwork, you come here, you do the things you're supposed to do. I think you should have a right to be a citizen of this country. But if you're going to just cut the line and basically give the burden to everybody else that's been waiting in line, that's paid their money, that's trying to get citizenship here, that's actually a benefit to this great country, I think that's a little messed up, and I think that's a little wrong. And again, that's a little bit of a PG version because we got to be careful what we say here on YouTube. But let me know what you guys think about this, because I think we really need to have a conversation about this in the comment section below. About, is this a good thing? What part of the budget, you let me know, should we start chiseling away? We can't keep doing this, you guys. It's not like, well, we got to chisel away at this or that, but not this. Something needs to give. And we got to explain to each other what needs to be removed here. And I personally think it's social programs. I don't think you can chisel away at military, you guys. You got China wanting to invade Taiwan. You got Russia invading Ukraine. You got Iran that wants to wipe literally Western civilization off the planet. So what do? You should be building up your military. That's one of the main functions of government, is to protect its citizenry, or to citizens at the very least, right? So these social programs have been blown out of proportion ever since FDR. There needs to be, I think, a strong talk of, honestly, maybe just getting rid of Social Security altogether, limiting Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, that's easier said than done, because you got a lot of people going into retirement now. You got a lot of baby boomers retiring. So again, like I said, this is a great conversation. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. A little bit of a shorter show today, but heck, I don't think you guys bother. If you want longer shows, let me know. Hey, Brad, we want longer shows. Give us the stuff. We got it all packaged for you nicely today, folks, each and every other day. As always, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short, sweet comment down below. You guys are awesome. Love you. Thanks for 30,000 subscribers. I almost forgot the lead with it. 30,000 subscribers. I do mean this genuinely. I can't even fathom. That is crazy to me. And we're only growing here. We're only growing, which is mind-blowing. Thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for being true American patriots. Let's try to make this country a better place as always. And folks, I'll see you tomorrow here on The Will Brad Show.